Hello, I'm Andrew Bailey and welcome to the first ever episode of Masters of TESOL. I'll be speaking to the people attached to the biggest brains in the industry. We'll hit on the practical, the theoretical, the mind-expanding and the nuts and bolts of teaching English to speakers of other languages. Now, in today's show, I speak to...
Gabriel Diaz Maggioli. Okay. That's it. Gabriel. Diaz. Yeah, Gabriel is okay.
And we'll be talking about using art in the classroom and how to phrase your questions so that you get much more satisfying answers. A typical question would be, tell me about this picture.
Exactly, or what can you see, right? Or describe the picture. If you do that, you will get words, you will get facts, but you will not turn the picture into a narrative.
Now you might be wondering, who is this Maggioli fella?
At the new school, I'm director of University Language Learning and Teaching, and I'm also director of the Master of Arts in TESOL program.
Okay.
And I coordinate the ESL department and the foreign languages department.
You're a busy man.
He's a jack of all trades.
So when it comes to using art in the classroom, this is a guy to listen to. Now, I caught him outside the Seoul KoTESOL conference, having a quick smoke.
Yeah, this is the kind of activity that I favor the most.
And stuck my phone in his face, and he was nice enough to give me an interview for this podcast. Now, you just heard him say he was the director at the new school. To people who are not familiar, how would you describe what is the new school exactly?
Well, the new school is a very progressive New York-based university. We have a campus in downtown New York in the Greenwich Village area, the West Village, the cool part. Well, there's nothing cool about the village. And it's a university with a long tradition of innovation and thinking outside the box. It was founded by John Dewey in 1919 as a place where people who were professionals could pursue unbiased research that has as its purpose the improvement of other people's lives. And we live by our motto. We are experiential learning 100% because of Dewey, of course, and reflective because of Dewey as well.
So I'll get out of your ears for a minute and let Gabriel tell you about VTS.
VTS stands for Visual Thinking Strategies, and this is a movement that started off at the Museum of Modern Art in New York as a way of making visitors to the museum more aware of the arts. Mm-hmm. The purpose is not to teach art, but to promote a response, a personal response to a work of art. From there, it has expanded into other forms of education. Particularly, there's a lot of research in K through 12 education. Okay. And what the very simple protocol does is it gives the students habits of mind. Basically, VTS can be described like this. You start off by silently viewing a piece of art, or it could be any kind of material, actually, for about a minute or so, and then you ask these questions. What is going on here in this picture, in this whatever work of art? And then the facilitator remains unobtrusive, and the only thing he or she does is recast what students have said.
In case you're not sure, recast means to rephrase an incorrect sentence correctly.
And link things that students have contributed and pointing out in the work of art to reaffirm what students have said. The second question is, what do you see that makes you say that? So that is basing your opinions on evidence. And if you see that the conversation is kind of slowing down, you can ask, what more can we learn from this picture? And you finish by thanking the students.
And you said about the 3 questions you use. Now, those questions are very specifically worded.
Absolutely. The developers of this approach to arts education, Awani and Hausen, actually worked in the wording of the questions to promote certain habits of mind. The first question, what is going on in this picture, turns any picture into a narrative, which is the most commonly used genre in human communication. And once the narrative is said, it spurs the collective minds of the students. So it actually takes cognition out of the head of the students and puts it into their contributions to the discussion. The second question is the fundamental one. What can you see that makes you say that? And that develops the habit of mind that whenever you speak or give an opinion, you base it on evidence, right? And that has been proven at the research level incredibly effective in test preparation, believe it or not, test preparation, right? And the last one, what more can we learn from this picture? Avoided the what else can we learn? When we use what else, it's like, okay, you have already said a lot, so tell me something else. When you say what more, you are enhancing curiosity, and students tend to say, okay, I have to find something more to say about this. So that keeps them engaged with the picture.
Can you use any picture for this, or just some pictures work better?
Any artifact. In teacher education, I have used videos of lessons. I have also used readings. I have used students' work.
All right.
So what is going on in this student?
All right. So a student's painting or student's art
students
piece.
writing.
Oh, writing as well?
Or a conversation between two students, right? So the prompt is, it started as art, but it can be turned into whatever you have. We use textbooks, and we start with what is going on in this picture with a two-page picture that heads most units in commercially available textbooks.
Okay.
So it's a really, really effective and low-stakes way of promoting focused language acquisition.
Okay. If you're using art, is it better to use quite famous pieces or unknown?
We've used all sorts of art, even street art.
Okay.
Murals, graffiti, anything. What you have to look is for the right work of art that will appeal to the students, right? We do it a thematic curriculum, for example, and we try to find a famous painting that can be woven into the unit on, I don't know, interior design, if you want to say something. So we will take something by Frank Lloyd Wright, for example, furniture or a room. And you can say, okay, what's going on in a picture of chairs and a window? Okay, they can tell a story.
Right.
Just by thinking about the mood, and it also develops empathy with whatever they are seeing. So any kind of object, even sculptures, collage, you name it.
Okay. What are some of the kind of common mistakes that teachers make using photos?
Well, basically just to show the photograph and say, tell me what you can see, or describe the picture, because that immediately sends the students into, okay, what words do I know? And then how do I string words into sentences? When you say what's going on, oh, there's a story here. So I go thinking like that. Another thing is not to give time to actually see the work for about 30 seconds in an unobtrusive way.
Okay.
That dedicated viewing time is fundamental, because students at the beginning, they don't know what is going to happen next, right? So that gives them time to really think and have a personal effective response to the work of art.
So it seems that VTS is a nice, effective, easy way of getting better answers out of your students when using visual input. So far so good, but you get more than just better answers.
This deceptively simple thing, protocol, actually encourages critical thinking, encourages evidence-based opinion, and it gives also students the message that many perspectives can be correct. And one of the biggest things we've seen is increased fluency, increased accuracy, because when the teacher recasts students' opinions, they are recast in correct English, and the students pick it up, incidental learning. And actually, the very quiet students, at the beginning they tend to remain quiet, but once they see the rhythm of the conversation flowing, they start chipping in. So even the most silent students in the class actually end up participating actively.
And you made a point about that there's no kind of judgment, no positive or negative value put on?
Exactly. As a facilitator, you refrain from acknowledging the correctness or suitability of the student's contribution. You just rephrase it and weave it into the opinions of everybody who has contributed before. So in that way, you're sending the message indirectly that more than one opinion is right. There's not a right or wrong answer here.
Yeah. So I suppose for some classes, especially in Asian countries, that might be a difficult concept to get used to, that there is no right answer.
It might be, but our experience is with most of our students are from East Asian countries in our university, and we've seen them thrive by using this. Also, since we encourage them to actually go to the museum, we take them to the museum once, and the final course assignment is for them to go to the museum and facilitate the viewing of pictures to their friends and families.
Okay.
So many of them get parents visiting for Christmas, for example. Instead of coming back to Korea, the Korean family goes to New York. Okay. And that is an assignment. And it's really interesting what you get there.
It's very interesting. All right, so Gabriel, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for the interview, and I hope that these ideas are useful for my colleagues.
Excellent, thank you. So there you have it. VTS. It's very easy, very simple to use, but very effective. So give it a try in your own classrooms. Now, dear listener, I'd like you to contribute to this podcast, not financially. I'll be setting some recording assignments and using the most interesting ones on the show. So if you want to know what to do, follow me on MOTcast on Twitter or mastersoftesol.com, and you can find the assignments there. If you've enjoyed the show, then please subscribe, and thanks for listening.